Kevin.
You're going to get it. I'm going to be in heaven and you're going to get what's coming to you. I don't know about you, but I want to know, how long is God going to let evil reign in this world? A couple mornings ago, I was reading my Bible in the morning, which I do.
It's a good idea.
And I was reading through Psalms, and Psalms are great because to me they're so just heartfelt, they're gut-wrenching, and it's almost kind of like the emotions that we deal with today.
Yeah.
Right? So well, go ahead. What?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Please proceed.
So I was reading Psalms 10, and this is David, and he's just like crying out to the Lord, and you can feel his emotion in the Psalms.
Yeah.
And he's saying, how long, Lord, are you going to let this evil and evil men triumph? And, in just reading it, you could hear his frustration in his voice, and it's like he was just kind of at his wit's end.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, Lord, this is going on. What are you going to do about it? And when are you going to do something about all this evil? So that got me thinking about today. And it really sounds to me like today. It seems like, we all try to be good. We try to live our lives pleasing to God and to follow his rules and his commandments and his Bible. And it just seems like the evil just prosper. And I personally, I get like David. I just get really frustrated, and I almost get angry at God. Maybe not angry, but it's like, okay, Lord, don't you know what's going on here?
Right.
I'm trying to bust my butt, trying to do all the right things, trying to be a good person, and this person over here just doesn't even care. They do evil and they just prosper, and it really gets me frustrated.
It does, because as a Christian, you kind of look at them like, well, how come this person that obviously doesn't believe in you,
doesn't even care,
is like living this great, easy, seems to be easy life, that's getting everything that they want.
Right. So first, let's take a look at, why does God let evil and evil men prevail, and it seems like he does nothing about it? First off, God has given men free will. And unfortunately, I don't want to say that, but he gives good people free will.
Yeah.
And he gives people that are against him and evil free will. And sometimes that just doesn't seem fair, like he should limit, but he's equal and he's fair to everybody, so he does give.
Yes, with that, you have free will to do whatever that person decides
chooses.
He wants to be evil, he's going to be evil.
Yeah. And we also need to remember that God, he doesn't typically interfere with your choices of good or evil. Now, I believe, and tell me what you think, I believe that God can stop. If something's so bad that God does not want it to happen, he will stop it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
This is what's hard with me about.
Yeah.
So,
he can stop it if he wants to.
He could stop it if he wants to.
He could create a situation where a guy is going to go do something, and then God causes a car accident, so the guy's stopped, and he can't do what he was going to do.
Well, I think that, there's going to be things that will or will not happen because God will use that situation for his own good.
Yes.
So, because when you say that, I think, well, then why doesn't he stop all of the rapes of children,
I know, and this is the hard part about free will.
So, yes, there's, of course, because we cannot even fathom to even think the way God does. So, he's got his purposes for everything. There's no way for us to understand that down here on earth. So, some things he's going to step in on, some things he's not.
But, I thought of another point. It really wouldn't be free will then.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going to make a choice in your life and God goes, I don't think that's a good choice, and he changes your will, or he changes of what you're going to do, then, we really wouldn't, it really wouldn't be called free will. And that works both for good and evil.
Yeah, so I think it's more about this actual circumstance versus the free will part of it.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're welcome.
Another thought I had is, for me, I just don't know why God just doesn't blot out all the evil. It would just seems like life would be easier, and a guy that's going to commit X amount of just atrocities, he goes, you're done. He just blots out the evil or gets rid of the person or whatever he could do because he's God.
But we'd be in heaven.
Yeah, well, we'd in heaven. But I guess you also need to think about that we all have done evil.
Yeah.
And
we're all evil.
We're all evil by the core. So then if God were to do that, we'd all be blotted out because at some point in your life, in my life, in your life, you have done evil to another person. Now, you may not consider it evil, like I'm sure Hitler didn't consider it was evil. He thought what he was doing for good, but the other party that you affected probably considers it evil or not good.
Yeah.
And lastly, you have to know that God loves that person that's doing evil as much as he loves you.
Yeah.
And he does not want anyone to perish and go to hell. He wants to give that person as much chances as he can. And I know that doesn't seem fair at sometimes, but we need to realize that, we're on one side of it. God's looking over. We see through a keyhole in life.
Yeah.
And God's looking at the huge picture, and he does love everyone equally.
Yeah.
And we're all his children.
He does. They're all his children.
Yeah.
So he wants to give them as much time as possible. Yeah. Number 3. Here's the big question. Is how long is this going to go on? How long is God going to let evil prevail?
Yeah.
Which is hard for all of us to understand at times.
Right.
There's some evil things that happen that are really hard to swallow.
And I think as I grow older, you start to see, I think when you're younger, you're really not, you really don't see it, I guess, but as I have grown older, I have seen and come to recognize the evil that is truly going on in this world.
And you're mature.
Well, thank you, darling. I was looking for the mature, wise one.
Tap on the shoulder.
You're so amazing, Jim. Oh, Kim, thank you. You're too kind. Okay. Well, I think, we all need to realize that this has been going on before Christ. This has been going on a long time. Yeah, from the beginning of time. So it's hard because, we look through our little window of time.
Yeah.
And we go, oh my gosh, this is so bad right now. But they used to burn Christians at the stake. That was pretty evil. So, how do we know? I guess is what I'm saying. It could be a different kind of an evil. They could have experienced a lot more evil persecution as Christians back in the day, where today, you can't just kill people, but back then you could, because the rulers could do that.
Right.
But I think we face an evil. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this has been going on for a long time. And what severity, we really don't know. We can imagine, but we haven't lived in that time period, so we don't know because we deal with what we're dealing with today.
Now.
Right.
Times change.
Yeah.
And that evil has been going on since the beginning of time because of our great oppressor, Satan.
The oppressor.
He's the ruler of the earth right now.
He has influence over evil.
Then now, so he's the one producing all this crazy evil.
A good point I always bring back to is Job. There was evil people, and Satan influenced those evil people to do more evil, to kill the servants. Yeah. So Satan plays a big role in this right now. Yeah. He knows God's timeline.
He knows what we know.
Right. He knows his time is becoming short. So I believe that, unfortunately, things aren't going to get better as far as evil. It's going to get worse. And we're going to tell you how you can kind of cope with this in our next point. But I think we need to realize that there are things we can do, but this is God's timeline. This is the end times advancing. And Satan knows that his time is getting close because the dude is going down and he knows it.
And he knows it.
And he wants to cause as much havoc as that little bugger can.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, what can we do? I mean, knowing that, it's going to get more intense. These are end times we're advancing, so it's not going to go away. Right? It ain't going to go poof and go away.
No.
So what can we do about it?
Run.
No, we're not going to run.
We're not going to run. You know what? We need to be in our Bible. We need to be closer with God. We need to be in prayer.
Yes, a relationship.
We need to be in that relationship. We need to know that, this is God's plan. God's in control. And we need to have that joy knowing that He's in control. And as much as what's going on around us, it's on His plan.
Yeah, it is.
We're not going to get it all the time, but it's in His plan. So as long as we're walking really close with God, that helps you get through a lot of this because you're just trusting Him.
It does. And I was going to say, you made me think of something. I really believe that today people, they just don't have the relationship with God.
Yeah.
And like you said, reading your Bible and praying. I mean, to me, it's no wonder people are so sad and unhappy and depressed is because they're missing that vertical relationship with God. And that relationship will help you through hard times and evil things. And you'll have something or somebody to fall back on and ask for help and strength during this time. Yeah. So, good point.
Well, I think, a lot of us, you think, well, I have a relationship because I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I have a relationship, I'm good. But I think all of us need to be in prayer about that. And I've been praying a lot about this.
Have you?
Yeah, make me more Christ-like. Yeah. Make me understand your love more, your mercy, your grace. Help me to really feel the depth of that so that I can have a closer, deeper relationship with God.
Right.
And I think that's what we all need to. So that you feel that in your gut, and I mean, you just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
And you can never have too much.
Yeah, never.
Never. The next point I have is we just need to realize God's in control. Pretty simple. He's in control. You got to trust His plan. I mean, nothing happens in this world that He doesn't want to happen.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows. That's going to happen.
And I know sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, and it makes us angry and frustrated sometimes, but if you just surrender that and say, hey, you know what, do not like what's happening right now, but hey, I get it. Yeah. You're in control, and I know you know what's going on.
Yeah. He created the earth and the universe.
Did He really?
The stars and the moon and us. He knows what He's doing.
I think so.
Do you have another point?
Yes, I do. And this is kind of a passionate point for me. Is that we need, as Christians, I think we're too quiet. I think that we just accept things. I don't think we want to get involved. I think we're afraid of offending people. People may not like us. And I don't think we speak boldly, the truth.
I think nowadays it's super hard because it seems like we're all walking on eggshells.
Yes, to offend people, right.
You're going to offend somebody because you say their hair is blonde and they want to say, no, it's brown.
Right.
And so everything is just so offensive that
is.
We're afraid
to speak up.
Generally, we're kind of afraid to say, I love Jesus in ways because people tend to back off like, oh, it's a holy roller.
Yeah.
But we need to be more bold, and we need to be not afraid of saying
and
Yeah.
Right. And you need to realize Jesus wasn't popular. The disciples were not popular.
Yeah.
It's not popular to go against culture. I mean, there are people that are not going to like you, but your reward is in heaven. I would rather be I'm actually spitting. I would actually be one made fun of and ridiculed by men, knowing that when I get to heaven, Jesus is going to go, well done. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. You spoke up when it wasn't popular to speak up.
I like, what's Cliff's last name?
Cliff. Oh, Barnett? No. Clay, it's a really odd.
Anyways, he's a really good speaker,
right.
But I always just love how when he's talking to people and he gets some kind of resistance.
Which he does.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot.
He always says, you know what? Don't take my word for it. I just go read the Bible. If you don't want to read the Bible, that's your choice.
Right.
If you want to choose to be separated from God, that's your choice. I'm not going to change it.
Right.
So speak your truth. Stand there, and if they sit there and ridicule you, then okay, you don't have to take my word for it.
Right. We did a good video. A good video. They're all good videos, but we did a video where typically, we try to stay away from politics in our channel. We don't like to side with one way or another. It's your choices. But Kim and I really thought about this, and we made a video about the evil in our government that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And, we had some people, say that you guys need to mind your own business. We had a couple people say that I'm going to unfollow you. But, it's getting to a point that Christians need to speak up about this evil that is happening in this world.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link in the video. We'll put a link in the bill. We'll put a link up top so you guys can check it out. But you got to take a stand and you got to be bold. And yes, there are going to be people that do not like you, but if you want to slow down evil, you need to be bold. You need to speak up. If you want evil to go and just run rampant, be quiet. Sit in your corner. It's going to trample
That's what Satan
over.
wants you to
That's what
do.
you want. Yeah, that's what Satan wants you to do.
Yeah, he wants us all to shut up and sit down and take it.
Take it.
That's exactly what he wants.
Yep.
We didn't tell people how to vote.
No.
That was not the point.
But
of
it's
the
almost
video.
like, oh my gosh,
It was like you can't. This is the point I'm trying to make about Cliff, is that, I'm not telling you how to vote. You can vote however you want.
Right.
I'm just telling you the Christian values that
Right.
come with that.
Abortion is wrong. I mean,
it's in the Bible. I
This
didn't
isn't
make
my
it up.
choice. I mean, God's
Yeah.
very clear about murdering people.
Right.
It's one of the big 10. So,
Right.
one of the parties believes very heavily in abortion.
Right.
We need to speak up about that.
Right.
So, you either take a stand for something or you fall for everything,
Yeah.
and it will just trample over it. Okay, so that's probably pretty good. We're pretty passionate. Be bold,
Be bold. I'm closing up.
Kim's closing shop.
Here it is, guys. The end all of end all is that evil will be demolished in the end.
Yep.
God will be just and they will be punished.
Yep. Everybody.
All the evil will be punished and ended.
Right. God will not allow it to happen.
Mic drop.
That's a pen drop. Yeah, that's true. So it's not, yeah.
There's nothing to say about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, he will.
God prevails in the end.
Right.
Not evil.
And that helps me because I'm like, well, you're going to get it at the end. I know the story and
It's coming.
you're going to get it. I'm going to be in heaven and you're going to get what's coming to you.
Is that little, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, I shouldn't
It's
think like
hard.
that. That's bad. But
Yeah.
in the back of your mind, you're going, you're going to get it.
Christian.
He's really doomed.
Be good, yeah. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this video,
Yes.
and we hope to see you in the next video, which is coming up really soon.
I hope so.
It is. All right, bye, you guys.
Bye.